Pablo, what concerns you more after this one, the 4 goals conceded or the 0 goals scored?
I would say both, Caleb. Um, I think we did a really good job defensively in the game in Costa Rica, and obviously, Phillips getting up to speed with his fitness, Javane as well. So it was always going to be difficult, to integrate the group, and obviously we with the 10 hours of travel we had. I don't even know when it was, a couple days ago, and these guys joining us, it was never going to be easy. So that is a concern, just getting everyone up to speed, and then obviously 2 games now where we don't find the back of the net. However, I think we're putting ourselves in really good positions to score goals. So we're a bit thin up top at the moment, and just trying to plug holes. But the game's crazy because I thought we controlled a lot of the game. We created some good chances, but again, there's a lot of guys that are joining the group. Pablo playing a little bit out of position, although I thought he did well. But from a structure perspective, we just need more numbers in the box, and to pounce on any second phase, any first phase, just really threatening their back line. So I think all of it really, on both sides of the ball, we just got to do better.
You mentioned being a little thin up top. Could you give us some injury updates on Ari and then Katranis after leaving today?
Yeah, I think Katranis was I think he could have gone in. It's the 2-minute rule. I think the game at that point was 2-0 or maybe 1-0. I can't remember, and just felt like, we just can't wait, right? We've got to get 11 guys on the field ASAP. So that was that, and then Ari just didn't pass the protocol to get back. So again, your guess is as good as mine as to when he'll be available. But we're at this point we're running Forster through the ringer, and it's a tough situation at the moment.
Lastly, for me, now that you've had a chance to see your team in both competitions, CONCACAF and now MLS, just thoughts on kind of the maybe a little bit chaotic, congested start to this season and the different groups that you've been able to use in both competitions?
Yeah, again, I think especially in the attacking part of the field, just learning a lot about the different players. Wolfie played out right today. I thought he did a good job. Typically, he plays on the left. And just trying to get the right partnerships so that we can progress as a group. There's a lot of new faces, even guys like Dom and Lockie that were here last year didn't get a whole lot of playing time. Diogo as well. So just trying to get up to speed, but they've integrated themselves well. And again, I think the hardest thing in football to do is to score goals, and we need those guys firing on all cylinders in order to be able to put some goals in the back of the net that will obviously relieve some of the pressure that we experienced today from a defending standpoint.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Alex, go ahead.
Hey, Pablo, shortly after conceding that second goal, there seemed to be a little bit, I guess, a collapse. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but after that, San Jose quickly went on and scored 2 more. Is that just a tribute to the fatigue of all the travel, of everything that you guys have had to do throughout the course of the first week of your guys' season? Or what can you speak to that late collapse from your side?
Yeah, no, that's something that we talked about after the game, is that the game of football is about moments, and at 2-0, you're still in the game, and I think it's a little bit of obviously fatigue is a big factor, and trying to rotate these guys in order to make sure that we're fresh for both competitions has proven to be very difficult, right? And like I said earlier, flying 3 guys in that weren't even on the trip to Costa Rica so that we can have numbers to play in this game was tough. And so I think it's just about getting everyone everyone in together, and again, to learn from this moment. I think, again, you can make all the excuses that you want about the travel and all these things, but we, and to be fair, it's a relatively young group out there tonight. And we just need to lean on the experienced players that we have out there, and continue to grow as a team. Like this, this is a long season. It's a journey, and it's a congested start. So, we're getting smacked in the face with games and travel, but this is a part of the learning curve for us as a team, and we got to make sure that what we experienced tonight doesn't happen, and we learn from it as a collective and move forward.
Maybe as a chance to try to take away some positives from this one, there was a couple of you guys who did step up and I thought had some good performances, specifically speaking about Tyler Wolf. Mm-hmm. What did you see from Wolf and what did he bring to this team in his first start?
Yeah, no, I thought Wolfie had a really good game. Again, he's just a humble, hardworking player that has quality and really does a great job for the team. One of the most selfless players we have in the group, played in a position that he wasn't the most familiar with, to make sure we get guys, on the field that had fresh legs. And I thought he did a great job getting in behind, maintaining possession, created some good chances from crossing opportunities, but also, had a couple shots on at the goal. So I think he had a really good performance tonight, and really good to, again, we got to take something from the game, and I think he was a bright spot in the group.
Thanks, Pablo.
Yep.
We'll take one more, Fabi.
Pablo, I wanted to ask you, a player that you know very so well, you played against him today, Chicho Arango. How did you feel, the guys, the group, how did they feel playing against one of their teammates and one of their former players?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, to be honest. I think when we prepare for teams, we prepare for the way they play. And obviously, there's, Chicho has a lot of close friends in the group. But to be fair, I felt like there was large portions of the game where we were in control of the game. And, I think guys like Chicho and Martinez, Espinoza, Lopez, they do a good job of showing up in moments. And tonight they did that, right? They're very experienced. They have a lot of history. And so, when we don't capitalize on the opportunities that we create, we leave the door open for those special players to be able to make plays, and tonight they did that.
Do you feel like the team did a good job at kind of neutralizing Chicho Arango, at least in what he was trying to do today?
Yeah, I feel so. Again, I go back to what we were able to achieve, and that was create some really good chances on goal. And tonight we just didn't have our finishing shoes on. I think their second goal came out of the run and play. I felt like for the majority of the second half, I felt like we controlled the momentum of the game, but there was probably a 15-minute span in there, a 10-minute span in there where it kind of got away from us, in particular after the second goal. And so, but for the most part, I feel like we did a good job. But it's just little mental lapses that I feel like that we have to continue to improve upon in order to not allow these type of games to get away from us.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Sorry, Pablo.
Hey,
We have one more.
Pablo,
Trey.
real quick, can you talk about the journey for Diego Luna the last 30 days to be able to come to do 90 today? And then also, what are some of the positive building blocks that you see for potentially maybe having 4 home games in the next 10 days after being on the road most of the last month?
Yeah, I think, again, Diego's situation was unique. He literally hasn't trained with the team. And so for him to step out in the field and perform the way he did, I think is a credit to his ability to prepare really on his own, stay behind, train with the Monarchs. And again, I think he had our best chances tonight. And again, it would be a bit harsh to say that he should have buried one of those, given the fact that he hasn't been training. And so I think that's the difficulty that we're up against in this competition, and in particular being a little bit thin up front. Diego's playing out of position to kind of fill that gap. But now we have a home game. We got to quick turn it around, and definitely learn from this game. It's been a long preseason where we've been away from home for the majority of it, but now coming home, hopefully we have the legs, the belief, and the execution to start getting some points there at the Riot.
Thanks, Pablo. Have safe travels.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Pablo. Appreciate it.
Yep.